hangover. I don't think that was a hangover. I think they just got beat.
18-point lead at halftime. The AFC title game, played a bad half.
So I just think that no, I don't think they're too experienced. Kelsey's absolutely right. I love that answer, and he didn't give the reporter any room, he didn't play along with him. Well, it was a few months. No, I don't even know, but I'm not even thinking about that. I like that, but that's the strong mentality that the Chiefs have. Now, I'm not saying that definitely means they're getting to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
I am saying if they don't win the AFC, I don't think it'll be a Super Bowl hangover. I think it'll be Baltimore, Lamar, Josh with Buffalo finally got over the hump. And if Kelsey is older and we see it, where he's just not the same player, Rashee Rice doesn't return to form, Patrick doesn't have the light show, and now we're really wondering, okay, what's going on with Mahomes? I think it'll be that the Chiefs just aren't as good as they used to be, but not a supernatural funk or something like that.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
I have two reasons. One, to your previous graphic about the Patriots. And we've done this exercise before about how Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were great, obviously, but they also feasted on the incompetence of the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins. And I don't think the Chiefs have that anymore.
Well,
I think that's true.
So I agree. Obviously, those teams are not as incompetent as the ones you're talking about. But I would like to see the Broncos or the Chargers or the Raiders win a single solitary playoff game.
I think that's fair.
They don't have to be against the Chiefs. Just
but those teams literally, that Brady was beating up on, literally didn't have a franchise quarterback. These teams have franchise quarterbacks.
Maybe.
Have coaches that have won Super Bowls.
Definitely.
So it's just the resumes are better.
I get that, but the entire AFC West hasn't won a playoff game since Mahomes has been there. I want to see them do it.
And then the other thing is this margin for victory. And there's two ways that you can look at it. It's it's like that picture of the old lady and the young woman. You know? If you look at it one way, the Chiefs, all they do is win close games. If you look at it another way, so this is 17. This is straight. This is nuts. 17 straight wins.
Straight games?
Yes.
Well, no, 17
straight. Yes.
So no, it's not 17 straight games. It is. They have not lost at their last 17 one-score games. They're 17-0.
They've won.
Because the only times they've lost, they got beat by more than one score.
So the question is, when you look, that's a very impressive stat, and they've got what it takes, and they need to make the plays that keep them in contention and keep the games close. And then when you look at it through the other lens, it's Isaiah Likely's toe, which could have gone another way. It's Aiden O'Connell botching the snaps that the Chiefs have to recover. It's Leo Chanel's blocked kick. It's was it Butker or somebody else bounced it off?
Hold on, but none of those games
close stuff.
But I guess But so turn a couple of those into losses. And does last season end differently? Because the playoff games, they handled the Texans start to finish.
Totally.
And the Bills game, Josh Allen had the ball down 3 with 3.5 minutes left, and he got 17 yards. And that was not a muff. And the Chiefs won the conference by a lot. Not actually because they gave up on the last year, but I'm saying they could have the last game. So I just think that I never, ever, ever heard Super Bowl hangover with Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. And you know what? We shouldn't have. Because Tom Brady lost a Super Bowl. He lost in 2007 and then had his knee blown out in week 1 of 2008. So I throw that. Obviously, you throw that out. In 2011, he lost. The next year, they were 12-4 and in the AFC title game. In 2017, they lost. The next year, they were 11-5 and won the Super Bowl. Peyton lost in 2010. The next year, he was 10-6, and they did lose in the wild card round. They got back to playoffs. And in 2013, he lost the Super Bowl, and they went 12-4 and went to the divisional round. I don't think teams with top 5 all-time quarterbacks have Super Bowl hangovers, especially when you have a great head coach. So I just think that part's silly.
Sure. Next up, Caleb.
Speaking of top 5 all-time quarterbacks.
I don't know about this. Is it time to worry about Caleb Williams? Courtney Cronin gave a balanced look at the QB coach combo. Now, some concerns were that the offense is too complicated and Caleb couldn't process everything yet, while some of the optimistic points, Brew, were that the installs were now established and Caleb continues to improve. So, I know you read the entire article.
Yes.
Would you be surprised if Caleb struggles again this year?
First, let me say this, and I would guess you guys are thinking the same things when you read this stuff or listen to these stuff. And I've often said, look, football players are way smarter than a lot of them get credit for, because knowing the playbook, how complex things are, is a lot. But when you read this stuff about what Ben Johnson wants to do and what Caleb has to pick up, I mean, they're writing it like it's rocket science. You know, like he's going to get 4 plays in the huddle,
insane.
and he'll go to the front line of scrimmage. Look at but it just does show how much he has to grow. So I definitely expect him to struggle at times in the beginning of the year. Look, last year he had some moments. He had some real moments, right, where he looked great. A lot of 300-plus yard games. So I expect to see some of that, but some struggles. But I have to say, Nick, I am not like he was on my making the leap list last week. I do expect him to second half of the season, last 2/3 or whatever of the season, really start improving and playing really well. But I am not at the point where I will be surprised if he struggles.
The whole year?
Yeah, like it's up and down and you're not sure what he is. Like when I say Victor Wembanyama is going to be great, there's not an inkling of doubt in my mind. Last year when I said Mahomes is going to be great last season, win the MVP, there was not an inkling of doubt. Now I was wrong, but there wasn't any doubt.
Yep.
Now, when I say that about Caleb, I have some questions. I think he'll be really good, but I do have some questions. And Nick, part of me feels like, are we patronizing Caleb? Because any other first, number 1 pick, second year in the league, good team around you, really good offensive mind, I feel like we would be like, he's got to be great this year.
It was the expectations. I know you guys.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
this.
I don't think that's the case right now.
It was the expectation for Trevor in year 2, and he delivered in year 2.
Well,
he did in year 2.
I mean, he was fine.
I mean,
yeah, you act like he wasn't like great.
I mean, he was 7th in MVP voting, so I don't know. Maybe there's 6 guys better than him. I'm just telling you what he was. They won.
I bet he was in the top 7.
Right, exactly. And Sam Darnold was great last year.
Yeah,
he was. I mean,
he was great last year.
And we can relitigate what it's been for Trevor since then, but year 2 went the way it was supposed to for a number 1 pick. It was exactly what you're starting with Caleb.
He was good.
Yeah, where it was a little.
He went from 3-14 to the playoffs.
Yeah, it was a little rocky early on with Doug, and then you guys don't like when I split the season, but then he took off at the second half of the year and they won a playoff game. And you felt great about it. It then went sideways after they didn't have that cart to take him off the field, and you worry that his body's never been the same. But I have a prediction. And I think Brew is going to be open to this.
Okay.
You're not going to predict it like I will, but you're not going to say it's off the board. Mm. By the end of this season, Caleb Williams will be by many considered the best quarterback in his division. I think Jared Goff is going to suffer a bit from the lack of Ben Johnson. As much as you don't like Ben Johnson, the head coach, you loved Ben Johnson, the coordinator, and the early reports out of that training camp are that transition's been a little rocky, and I think we're going to see a fair amount of J-No to go along with J-Lo. And so not that he's going to have the best stats over the course, but because of how he finishes the season, because of how he looks over the final
like
6
Love
weeks.
Did
correct. Exactly right. Like how we felt Jordan Love after his first year as the starter, a lot of people were like, I think he's the best quarterback in that division right now.
Open to that.
I think you're open to it?
Yeah.
Of course.
If
Goff slides.
Yeah.
If Goff slides, I don't expect him to slide as much as you do. I don't more continuity there than just Ben Johnson leading. Yeah. But
Goff
slides on the board.
Goff slides a bit. J-Lo stays kind of static to where he was last year, and Caleb by the end of the year takes a big leap.
When you
you're predicting it.
Yeah, I'm predicting.
So you're not saying he's going to have the best season in the division.
No,
you're
because
saying
I agree with you that I think the first month could be rocky. I think the first month there's going to be some tough shows for me. Because I think there could be some growing pains early. But much like the Prince, I think he's going to come on strong. Now, is he going to have one of the greatest playoff comebacks ever? Who knows?
When you read this article, did you ever think, That's exactly what Wildes was talking about. Ben Johnson wants to let everybody know he's a genius, and his offensive schemes are so complex. He's like Magnus Carlsen out there.
Right. It does read like that. Yeah, yeah.
He's like, this is
He's
way
not
more
the only
complex.
coach doing that stuff.
Oh,
but
in his mind he
it
is.
comes off.
He's out there like Magnus Carlsen, dude. He's just running circles around other OCs.
You mean the best in the world, but a little arrogant? Sure. They'll take that.
Preseason bro. You're going to get to see him tonight. That's next on FS1 and Fox Sports Channel. Sirius XM. I got it in my car.
Subaru and our retailers are supporting students in high-need schools by